Bernier and Beer back here getting ready for the 2-mile Belmont Gold Cup. Mike, I have to be honest, this is going to be an interesting little preview we do because I don't know where you start. You've got a bunch of Europeans showing up. Normally, we're used to that in our big sort of grass races. We're not used to horses coming out of hurdle races and all this other kind of nonsense. I don't know. Where do you want to begin? Guess what? Who do you like? Let's just go that way.
That's a good place to begin. I think you're right. To at least start with the Europeans. It feels like that's maybe the way to go in a 2-mile race. Who do I like? I like Wicklow Brave, the 12. He's the horse that I picked in the race. You know, he has some things going for him as far as, distance capabilities go, obviously. He wants to go this far. He's a Group 1 winner at 1 3/4 miles. He just won his most recent race over this 2-mile distance. It was over hurdles, but it was at 2 miles. I thought he was pretty impressive winning it when I pulled the tape on it. I don't know. That's who I picked, but I mean, I can't say that I took him with a lot of conviction.
Red Cardinal comes into this spot. I believe he was the morning line favorite at 7-2. Andreas Voller. This is a horse most recently a group winner at 2 miles at the distance. It's going to be his second start off, a bit of a layoff. Almost feels like this, I don't want to say this was the goal, but this was certainly in the making for a while, and I think you've always got to respect that.
I have to believe that they were probably thinking about this race. They brought him back in the 2-mile race, and he did win, and that's a feather in his cap. He's just one of the horses, and I totally believe that he's a major contender in here. One of the horses, though, that did go back and watch a couple of his replays, in particular that last one off the layoff. And while it was nice to see him win over the distance, boy, what a perfect trip he got in that race. It sort of made me feel like if he's going to be the favorite, I'll try and beat him. Wall
of Fire comes here for Hugo Palmer. You get Florent Giroux, one of our sort of home-based riders in this spot. Lasix go on. You're going to carry 115. I'm not a big weight guy, but to be honest, in a 2-mile race, a few pounds may go a long way. Yeah, it certainly could help his chances, that's for sure. He's got his form to me is fine, and he wants to go long. And he's one of the thing that I like maybe most about him, even though I didn't pick him, he's one of the few Europeans who's going to put Lasix on for the fish. A lot of them aren't going with the Lasix, but he is. Clondaw Warrior is making the rare turn back. He's been going in hurdle races at 3 miles. Now he cuts back to a flat 2-mile distance in this spot. I mean, this is a horse that, it wasn't that long ago, he was a runner-up in the American St. Ledger at 1 mile and 11/16. So we know distance and we know North American racing is going to be fine for him. I guess, does it come down to price, or is there anything else that you just don't like about him?
Listen, there's nothing, I can't knock him. I didn't love his St. Ledger last year when he came over. He did finish second, but it was one of those sort of suck-up, no-threat seconds to the big hoss. I guess he ran fine in that race. I love a turn back in a race. Is a mile turn back a good thing to go for? I'm not sure.
And going from jumps to flats, I don't know what we're going to get from this kind of horse, but it seems like that's a more common thing over in Europe than it is over here. Clearly, we don't run the hurdles very often, and we certainly don't run 3-mile races. As far as our North American contingent is concerned, you have some names that we're all familiar with, whether it's a Renown or a Hunter O'Reilly. I think Taglib is the one that probably carries the most hope as far as chances of winning. Do you give him a chance to win?
Yeah, I think he's got a chance to win in this race. He's certainly the American-based horse that I would be using in this race. He's in very good form for Mike Maker, graded stakes quality form, going long on the turf, not 2 miles long, but long. And he does have a prior win over 2 miles. I think that's really important in this race. He'll get the distance. He's the American I would want.
We just saw in the New York Stakes a horse go gate to wire. If anyone's going to go gate to wire here, I would imagine it's going to be Roman Approval off the claim. He always is forwardly placed. He's stretching out in distance. Do you give him any chance?
I want to say I always give him a chance because he's a good horse, and I like him. I just feel like they're probably pushing his limits here, going 2 miles.
Without going into all the horses, because there's just 15 different things in here. You like Wicklow Brave in here. What's too short a price to play?
I feel like at a 2-mile race like this, especially for a horse that I like coming over, whose last race was over hurdles, if he's less than 6-1, I'm not going to be betting this race.
I have to be honest, I don't have a real opinion in here. It's hard to sit here and tell you with conviction that I love someone because we don't run 2-mile races here, and we have so many horses coming from overseas that have been doing different things. I guess if I had to take a shot in here, I'd go with Clondaw Warrior just because he's done this sort of thing in the past. And like you say, maybe his most recent start in North America wasn't awesome, but I at least know he can handle North American racing. Again, not a race that I'm really interested in from a betting standpoint. It's going to be fascinating to watch it, though. 2 miles, we don't do this thing here very often. We'll find out what happens here in the Belmont Gold Cup. 2 miles, maybe one of our North American horses, such as Taglib, can get it done.